Hello besties, and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to have a little sit down and chat with you guys about writing. Writing for me, I just want to first of all say, like, I just want to talk about my writing process and kind of how I write. Sorry, I'm like refreshing my lip oil because it's about to go off. Like, as you guys can see the difference. Oh dang, what you can. This is why I love, like, is it Gisu? I love this brand so much. I love this brand so much for lip oils. My lips have never looked or felt more moisturized. This is not sponsored, by the way, but my lips have never felt or looked more moisturized than when I use a lip oil, so I literally love that. But I was gonna do a sit down and chat about writing, and we're also going to just do a little bit of everything, really. I just feel like I want to talk about it, especially since the year is closing and I've done a lot of writing this year, not just for, you know, the Ruined Royals editations and all that, but I've also been in the process of writing another novel, and I finished writing and editing Broken Past, which is my book that comes out next year. It comes out May 1st, 2025, and if you guys want more updates on that, you guys can check out my Instagram. The link is always in the bio. But I really just want to talk about writing and how I write and my writing process, because I feel like for everybody it's different, and people have always asked me about my writing process, so I was like, let's just make a full long video on my writing process, because why not, you know? So before we get into this, I would love it if you guys would subscribe. It would mean the world if you guys subscribe to this channel. I talk about writing, we read, we talk, we do a lot of fun stuff. I vlog, it's so cool. And right now we're currently doing MADIMAS, which is currently what you're watching right now, MADIMAS. I actually don't, the last time I did MADIMAS was back when the channel used to be focused around Roblox, so that kind of says a lot about how we have evolved. But yeah, I've been doing book videos for about 2 years, and the last time I did MADIMAS was about 3-4 years ago, which is crazy to think I've had the channel for that long, but I have, apparently. But yeah, so I just want to first of all start out with like what it feels like to write and get in the moment. It's actually really crazy. So currently I'm writing a work in progress that I'm so proud of, and I love it, and I love what I've been doing with it. I really just find inspiration from Pinterest. I make playlists on Spotify with music that I feel like would fit it, and right now I'm in the process of planning, not writing but planning, another one of my novels. And I feel like that when I plan the novel, the first thing I could see when planning this novel was kind of the playlist, the music playlist for this book. Now I use notebooks. I have so many, you guys always see them in the backgrounds of my videos. If you guys have been here for a while, I have a stack of notebooks. This is basically where I plan out each and every individual book that I write, which is so crazy to think about because all of the stories are literally in here in these books, all of these. This currently is the one I've been using the most. And you guys, if you guys are keeping up with my writing series that I have on YouTube Shorts, if you guys are YouTube Shorts, or if you guys are on TikTok, if you guys are on Instagram, the short form content, then you guys are keeping up with this. This is what you guys see me use. And I'm sorry I look so greasy. I have no clue why, but this is the notebook you guys see me use when I'm writing, because this is a notebook that has all the planning. And I just find that so cool. This binder right here, I can actually show you guys this one because this is for a book that has been announced. Once again, it's Broken Past. But I have the I have the officially printed manuscript for Broken Past. That is so cool. And then I also have another version, like, so you guys can like see everything. Well, not see everything, but you guys can see have manuscript. But I have a completely different version of the manuscript as well in here, where it's a misprint, but I kept it because we don't waste paper on here. But it's a misprint, Broken Past, and basically it's just literally every page is like upside down. Like, we have a normal page where it's normally up, and then everything is upside down once more. So I mean, that's fun. And it, like, I didn't get to choose that. Like, literally, look, right side up, you flip the page, it's literally upside down. I don't know what happened. That's just how it printed. That's how it got printed, but it's okay. It's in here, no waste paper, and there was all like this blank paper that I decided to keep in the binder because I was just like, maybe I might need it for something, or I could just put it in the printer next time for when I print something new. Yes, this is basically where I just keep my manuscripts. I keep them in binders, and when I finish the manuscript for this book right here, it's gonna go in a pink binder or a blue binder. Blue because that's kind of like the theme of the book, but pink because pink is my favorite color. I love the color pink. So yeah, but that's how I plan my novels. Once again, Spotify and Pinterest are literally like my best friends. They give me so much inspiration. They give me so much inspiration, and the music also, when I'm writing, it gives me like this oomph, if that makes sense, like this oomph, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I want to write a scene based on this song, right? So it feels like when I'm writing, I'm listening to music that aligns with the storyline, and when that means when you guys read it, you guys are listening to music that aligns with the storyline as well. I feel like that's just so cool. I feel like that's just like literally the coolest thing ever. I want to talk about what motivates me, because I did a little soul food dinner thing where people could come and they asked me questions and we ate, and the main thing I heard people ask was what motivates me. So I didn't want to talk about that in this video real quick, but something that really motivates me is definitely sleep. I love to sleep, okay? Actually, for my debut novel, it's literally right here. Hold on, let me grab it. My debut novel, this book came to me, this idea for this novel came to me while I was going to sleep. Some of my best ideas come when I'm sleeping. I have a PR company, it's called Pink Rocket. The name for that business came to me while I was about to go to sleep. So my best ideas come to me when I'm sleeping. So yeah, my sleep definitely motivates me, but also to see like authors on the best-selling list, New York Times best-selling list, I don't know, but to see authors on the best-selling, like the New York Times #1 best-selling list, that motivates me, because I'm like, I want to be a bestseller. Maybe not New York Times, because you have to be traditionally published to be New York Times. I do not want to be traditionally published, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but I don't want to be traditionally published, so maybe not a New York Times bestseller, but I definitely want to be a bestseller. Okay, really my dream, I like, whoa, I don't know what that was, but yeah, that's just something that I feel like would be so special to me, and that's also really what motivates me, is to think like, yo, if you keep moving, if you keep continuing with everything that you're doing, then you could be the next best-selling author out there, okay? I did also want to talk about publication, because a lot of people ask me about publication as well. I published using Kindle Direct Publishing. Everything in here is my own work, my own choices. I made every single choice. Kindle Direct Publishing doesn't choose anything for me. I chose everything. Copyrights, literally everything is in my name. They don't take anything. Really all they take is a bit of money when you, like, for all of it, because obviously they have to make the profit, and especially when they're doing print books, they have to get money to print the books, right? So yeah, but none of it in here really shows that I published with Amazon, which I find is really cool. But yeah, everything in here, my name is on it. Like, a lot of people don't even know that I published with Amazon. When it came to my ISBN, I actually purchased an official ISBN instead of getting the free KDP ones, because I want an official one, because the KDP ones, I believe, maybe they probably don't vary, but they're harder to discover if you put them in actual stores, which I want to put them in actual stores. So I got an actual ISBN that you can scan, and it'll come up on anything like Storygraph, Goodreads, Fable, what is that other app? I use it literally all the time. Pagebound, oh my goodness. But yeah, everything up here is my name. It's not in Amazon's name. It's all literally mine, which, oh my goodness, I don't know why I was trying to stuff up, which I think is pretty cool, and I think that's pretty fire as well. So if you're thinking about publishing with Kindle Direct Publishing, then this is your sign, because it's so easy. A lot of people say like, oh, but when you're a self-publishing, you're an indie publisher, you're not going to make it, or you're not as good. I've seen indie published book authors, indie authors get movie deals, and they're not traditionally published. To this day, they have movie deals, but they're not traditionally published ever. They don't plan on it. So don't know what you want from me, girl. Don't know what you want. Also right here, this official certificate of registration and copyright. This has like literally all my information, but this official document right here states that I am an actual author. So that is pretty cool. I do have it framed, and I do plan on framing all of them when all of my books get published, because I have so many hidden manuscripts and I'm so ready. They just need to be edited and finished being written. But I have so many manuscripts that I want to publish, and girl, it's okay. Yeah. And when I do publish them, I'm going to hang them all up around my room. That is the goal. That is my plan. Yes, it is. You guys cannot stop me from doing that either, because I have free will. Yes. So yeah. I also want to talk about like why I don't want to be like traditionally published at all. It's so much more difficult. People say that it's harder to be indie published, which I will agree it is, because you have to do everything on your own. You have to write on your own, you have to edit on your own, you have to get a cover on your own, you have to promote it on your own, which promoting is literally the hardest part when it comes to publishing a novel, promoting it. You have to get all the funds on your own, all that stuff, you have to register on your own, all that stuff. It is so difficult, right? So that's like the downsides for being an indie author, but it's much more accomplishing when you're an indie author, because you know that every single bit of work you put into it is not because some big publishing company promoted your book. Now, would it be cool if I was an indie author and somebody like Simon and Schuster, whatever, published Lauren Roberts or Berkeley or Illumicrate? I don't even think Illumicrate publishes, but you get what I'm saying. Somebody like promoted my book and I'm still indie. That'd be fire. That'd be so cool. I would love that, actually. That would make my day. But I don't want to publish with a publishing house or a publishing company. And the reason why is because they will change everything, okay? Where is the Allie Hazelwood book? Because this is the perfect example. Allie Hazelwood is literally the perfect example of them taking over. This book, Deep End, was originally supposed to be called Wet. Everybody loved the name Wet. She loved the name Wet. But who publishes? Berkeley was like, you can't do that. We're gonna make you change the name. That's how Deep End became, right? So while it was better than Not in Love, I'll say that much. But they will change your title if you don't like. If they don't like your title, they don't like your title. It's game over. Your title's gonna change. But if they don't like your story, they're gonna make you change everything in your story. They're going to make their own decisions on your book, and they're going to control your book, and they can decide who can make it into a film and who could not, and they decide what events you do and what events you don't do. They decide all that. They're like your little manager, right? Which would be so cool if, you know, you had full control over your books. I never want to hand my book over to a publishing company or publishing house who's not going to take care of my book. I feel like they say they're going to take care of the book, but if I'm not publishing my book the way I want it, with the manuscript that I want, the cover and the title that I want, then are you really taking care of my book, or are you making it your own book? Because last time I checked, who spent months, probably years, writing a manuscript? Me. But you're going to change everything up because you don't like the title of my book? I thought I was bringing money, which actually is so funny to me, because they will change the way you write, they will change the title, they will change the cover, but it's like, I bring in the money, I know what my readers want, and they're gonna change everything? Odd, isn't it? Like, I don't want that for my book. I want my book to be authentically mine. I don't want any changes to my book that I don't think that would be necessary, because whether you agree or not, they're gonna change it. They're gonna change it whether you agree or not. And that's really just why I don't want to be in a publishing company or under a publishing house. Definitely do plan on staying indie, but I would love to get like a movie or a TV show deal for literally all of my novels, all my manuscripts. That would be so cool. What else I want? Oh, I also want to talk about how recently I've seen my books in a lot of Tiffany Ligon videos. That has actually been so cool, so fire. She posted a video where she was going through all her unread books, and she talked about mine for a good minute, I think, like 51 seconds. I didn't record it, and that's the only reason I know how long she talked about it, because the recording I think was like 51 seconds. Which I think was so cool, and she was so sweet about it, and she talked about it, and she was just so kind. Literally, she was so kind. You guys have been giving me a lot of support, and I really appreciate that. Like, you guys will post videos on TikTok, and they will use the hashtag the Ruined Royals, which is so cool because I made my own little hashtag, you know. People will use the hashtag the Ruined Royals, and they will post with like the videos or reviews of my book. You guys go into Goodreads and you guys post reviews of my book, and you recommend it to your friends, to your families. I've had so many people, like when I go to my book signings or when I come to my soul food dinners, where it's like, oh, like, yeah, I'm literally here because my friend invited me, or I literally read your book because my friend recommended it to me and they thought it was so cool and they thought it was so good. And you know, I just really appreciate that. It's so heartwarming to hear those words, because it's kind of just like, dang, I wrote a novel and people are actually recommending it to their friends, thinking it's like the best thing ever. You know, people will post photos and stuff on their stories. I've gotten private DMs from a few of you talking about how some of it is crazy, or it's like a really crazy ride, and how much you're enjoying it and how much you love it. If you guys watch my gaming channel, there used to be a girl group on that channel. It was me and a few of the girls. I love them so dearly. I love them with my whole heart. They're literally so special. Whoa, why am I stuttering so much? I meant to say, I'm about to say again. I meant to say that we kind of like broke up as a group, but it was on bad terms. We actually broke up because of personal reasons, but you know, we don't talk anymore. But once again, we ended on really good terms, and they still watch the videos that I do on my solo. Not the same without those girls, but my cousin Jem, who is constantly still in those videos and was in the group, told me that one of the girls read my book and they purchased it, and she absolutely loved it, and she was ready for the next one. And I was just like, dang, like to see the same people supporting me for so long, and to love me and to love what I do for such a long period of time, and just to continuously to support me like time and time again without fail, without me having to ask for their support. They're constantly supporting, they're constantly commenting, they're constantly purchasing my books, they're constantly reading my books and reviewing them. And that's just something that's like so near and dear to my heart, because it's like, dang, like I have people who support me out here. There are people out here who care, who support me, who love me, and I just feel like that's just so crazy to think that so many people have read the book and so many people have loved it, you know. So yeah, I do think that's gonna conclude this video. I have nothing really else to talk about. I did want to start off, like, I want to end it off with a nice little heartwarming message and chat. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chat. I definitely enjoyed the chat. If you guys like this video, you guys can subscribe and comment down below if you guys have read my book and if you guys have not. And either way, I will respond to your comment. I love you so much. Thank you all so much for watching. Mad out, kisses, Maddie out, and goodbye.